Welcome, Japanese woodblock print collectors and enthusiasts. Mark your calendars, there's a big event coming up in March. Christie's, the world-famous auction house, will be auctioning a rare, complete set of 46 Ukiyo-e woodblock prints by Katsushika Hokusai, featuring several of the most famous prints of his career. These prints include Under the Great Wave Off Kanagawa and Red Fuji. But I'm getting ahead of myself. First, let's look at some more details about this event. The last time a complete set appeared on the market was more than 20 years ago in 2002, said Takaki Murakami, the head of Christie's Japanese and Korean art department in New York. The sale price is expected to be in the millions. I'll have my prediction of the final sales price at the end of this video. The Japanese artist Hokusai designed this series when he was 70 years old, back in the 1830s, when he was struggling following the death of his wife and trying to support a gambling grandson. The publisher who initiated the series was a member of a religious cult that worshipped Mount Fuji. The cult believed that by worshipping the mountain and climbing it, they would be reborn and able to find happiness. This print of him was designed by Toyokuni I. The print series was originally called 36 Views of Mount Fuji, but since it was so popular, they made 10 additional prints. The final number of prints is 46. Okay, let's get into the prints. Please note that the 46 prints I'll be showing you are not from the upcoming Christie's auction. They are from other museum collections. We start with this unassuming minimalist frontispiece or cover page. How plain and elegant is this? Then the first print he hits us with is Under the Great Wave Off Kanagawa, which shows fishing boats challenging the waves. Mount Fuji is just a small, snowy triangle in the distance. There were only 1,000 copies of this originally printed, and less than 130 remain. He follows the wave with two Fujis, very similar in composition but very different in energy. The first called Fine Wind, Clear Weather, or Red Fuji. The second, Rainstorm Beneath the Summit. He shows us Fuji from a different vantage point, but this time there's a storm beneath the mountain. Those zigzagging lines are lightning. Next is a series of bucolic views where we see Fuji as part of the urban landscape of the day. It goes without saying that all the prints have Mount Fuji in them, and half of the fun of this series is finding Mount Fuji in the landscape. Hokusai really demonstrates his inventiveness and artistry in the creative ways he builds the compositions around Fuji. You'll notice that many of the prints in this series, starting with this one, have been printed with blue tones called Aizuri-e. The Prussian blue pigment had been recently introduced from Europe, and it was a very popular color. It was also cheaper to print in one color, and once the print series became successful, the publisher added more colors. Here are some examples of the earlier prints on the top and the more colorful later versions on the bottom. One thing that strikes me in this series is the bright colors and the clear delineation of objects. There's no blurred lines or murkiness of shapes and colors. Everything is sharp and bright and clear and vibrant. As we slideshow through the rest of these prints, let's talk about the potential purchase price. I'm going to assume the collection is in very good condition, probably all bound in the same album, or possibly kept as separate prints. The wild card is that the Christie's expert Murakami said that some of the prints in this set are earlier impressions, while others are later impressions. This series was not issued as a set, but rather was published in several installments. Now, I'm having a hard time figuring out what that means. We know that all the prints weren't published at the same time. It took several years to design and print all of them, so that's a given. But what does he mean by some prints are earlier and others are later? How much later? That worries me a bit. Maybe the original owner 190 years ago never had a complete set, or some of the prints were damaged, so later he or some other owner substituted later editions. Worst case, it could be that this set of prints is composed of prints separated by 20, 40, 60 years. I asked Christie's for more details, but they didn't provide any. So until Christie's comes out with more information, I'm afraid we'll just have to be patient. Okay, that was the complete series, all 46 prints. Now onto pricing. Pricing will depend primarily on the condition and the edition of the prints. For our estimate, let's assume they were all printed in the 1830s. If we look at the auction prices of some of the most famous individual prints, we can see the following. The Great Wave, 2.7 million. Storm Below the Summit, 550,000. Red Fuji, 507,000. Surface of Lake Misaka, 100,000. Kaji Kazawa in Kai Province, 87,000. Sekiya Village on the Sumida River, 87,000. Tago Bay near Ejiri, 68,000. So we're up to about $4 million, and that's only 6 prints. There's 40 left. Based on the sales prices I've seen on the rest of the series, I'll be generous and average them out to $35,000 each. Plus, don't forget that the buyer is going to have to pay Christie's 15% commission. Now we're up to $6,325,000, not including taxes and shipping and insurance. But not including commission, I'm going to guess it sells for $6.5 million. If you think my estimate is wrong, put your guess in the comments section, and the closest one to the final sales price will get this original Hokusai 100 Views of Mount Fuji print from our collection. It's a bit cropped at the top, but hey, it's free, and you'll probably win it. If you're interested in some great online resources for this print series, the Cincinnati and Hamilton County Public Library has 36 of the prints in fantastic condition. And also, kudos to the experts at hokusaikatsushika.org, where you can find the complete series along with different print variations. Until next time, mark your calendars for the auction. Please like and subscribe, and happy collecting.